The Kingdom is a short film made in Bhutan in collaboration with WWF.
We're really excited to be able to finally share this project with you, and so we're going to dive behind the scenes and talk about how it came to be.
So about a year ago, I saw this TED Talk by the Prime Minister of Bhutan, and something he said really caught my attention.
In a world that is threatened with climate change, we are a carbon neutral country. Turns out it's a big deal. Of the 200 odd countries in the world today, it looks like we are the only one that's carbon neutral.
We became fascinated by this inspiring story of one of the smallest countries in the world with one of the greatest commitments to environmental conservation.
We were fortunate enough to travel to Bhutan and make a short film bringing this story to life. We assembled a team. Matthew the director, Jeremy the cinematographer, and Gary on assistant camera and sound.
I was producing the project.
How's it going?
And Jack was shooting the stills.
The film tells the story of Sonam Phuntsho, a forest caretaker who's planted more than 100,000 trees in his lifetime. In many ways, Sonam is the physical embodiment of Bhutan's approach to environmental conservation.
During the trip, we were looked after by our Bhutanese brothers, Sangay and Nima, who would be our support as we travelled through the country. Sangay was our tour guide, so we would literally just follow him everywhere. Then there was Nima. He was the designated driver, which was important because we had other things to do.
We stayed in all sorts of places while we were there, but this traditional farmhouse in the Phupjika Valley was definitely the highlight. We were treated to local cuisine and got to spend the time really getting to know each other.
Each day, we would pack up our gear and head out to shoot. Working with Sonam...
Wait. Why is there a wooden penis in your bag?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So, in Bhutan, the phallus symbol is everywhere. This may be surprising, but it's not seen as offensive in the way it might be to us in the West. In fact, it represents fertility and is even said to be able to ward off evil spirits.
The process of filming was kind of run and gun. We actually had an issue with our filming permit before we'd arrived, and so we had to leave about half our gear at home. And this meant that Jeremy had to shoot everything handheld, which led to some pretty inventive cinematography techniques.
Working with Sonam was amazing. He was so passionate about what he does for a living and so patient with us that it made telling his story relatively easy. In this part of the film, we follow Sonam in a day of his life as he sets about the same routine that he's been doing for the last 60 years.
When we weren't filming, we would take these walks into the countryside and meet local communities to gain a better understanding of the way of life in Bhutan. Especially in the rural parts, most people live close to the land and not long ago used to be completely self-sustaining, growing all their own food.
In the film, we try and explore how this way of life has impacted the Bhutanese relationship with their environment. Everyone we met seemed to have a profound respect for nature and the animals that inhabit their country. We spent time meeting some of the monks that live and study at monasteries such as these. This building is known as a zong and is completely unique to Bhutanese and Tibetan architecture. Bhutan is mainly a Buddhist country, and we discovered that their unique relationship with the environment is strongly influenced by some of the core values of Buddhism.
This is a traditional roof pounding ceremony where women compact a layer of earth in order to insulate a building. It can be lengthy and challenging, and so in order to pass the time, they sing. After watching this magical event, they invited us to share a traditional song from our culture.
Hey now, you're a rock star, get your show on, get paid, all that living is gold. Holy star.
On our final day, we hiked up to the famous Tiger's Nest Monastery, which is an incredible feat of architecture.
Hi. Hi. Come here. Come here. Come here. Say hello.
I love this shot of Matt blowing on a tiny set of prayer flags. The reality is that filmmaking is never what it seems. As we reached the top of the monastery, we took a moment to reflect on our trip through Bhutan. This is a country that is simply doing its best to survive in an ever-changing world without compromising on their commitment to the environment.